And I'm Dr. Sherri, and this is another episode of Off the Couch. And today we're going to talk about whether or not we should care what other people think about us. Now, I know that this is a very popular topic. I've seen it all over the place in memes and things like that. People will say, you shouldn't care what people think about you, or you should stop caring what people think about you, right? So I just wanted to talk about that today and invite you to consider some alternatives with me. So when we're talking about caring what other people think, what we're essentially talking about is having a feeling, right? Caring about something is a feeling. And if you've watched any of my stuff before, you know that feelings are there for a purpose. They're there to inform you about something, right? They're not supposed to drive you. They're not supposed to lead your life or rule your life, but they are supposed to tell you something, and they're supposed to give you some feedback. And so I think that one of the worst lies that we can tell ourselves is, I don't care what people think of me. Because the truth is, we do care what other people think of us. We might not like to admit that, but here's the thing, folks. Every single person cares about what other people think about them. They might not care so much about what a certain person thinks of them. Maybe, so they care about what their family thinks, or they care about what their friends think, or they care about what strangers think, or conversely, they don't care what family and friends think, but they care about what strangers think, right? And so I challenge this notion of whether or not we actually care. Look, if we did not care what other people thought of us, we wouldn't get dressed in the morning in our, in suitable clothing to go to work or to go to meetings or to go to a party or an event or out to dinner or anything like that. We wouldn't take the time to do our hair and our makeup. We wouldn't shower. There's a lot of stuff we wouldn't do. So some of those things, you guys, caring what other people think, it's actually a healthy thing. And when we care what other people think, it actually serves as a buffer, kind of like an external ego, if you will. Our ego kind of keeps in check our impulses and things like that. And so when we care what other people think, we actually sometimes, most of us, take the time to think about doing something or not doing something based on what somebody else will think. So if you are telling yourself that lie, or if you're trying to convince other people to believe that lie, that you don't care about what other people think about you, or that you should stop caring what other people think about you. In fact, I just Googled this morning, you guys, and all I typed in was care about what other people think. And like the first 4 to 5 pages was all how to stop caring what other people think. And I think that's just misleading. I think it goes in the face of reality, because the reality is that we are creatures that were created to connect with one another, and we're created to care about what other people think. And thank God for that, because if we didn't, we'd just be at constant war with each other, like all the time. Fights and conflicts, and there's already enough of that, right? But we do care what other people think. And so I want to liberate you with that today, that it is okay. It's not just okay, it's actually healthy to care what other people think of you. Now, here's the differentiation that I want you to ask yourself, is when you care, when you start to think about what other people think of you, do you let that inform you, or do you let that drive you? So there's a difference, right? If caring about what other people think is a feeling, like I said, feelings are there to inform us about something, to take some action. And typically, if a thought comes into our head that says, I really wonder what such and such would think about this if I did it, or what they're going to think if I show up looking like this, right? That should be cause for information. That's information that says, am I doubting myself? It's information that says I need to reflect and evaluate on me, right? But the difference would be if you chose to let that caring about what other people think drive you. You see, if you let it inform you, if you take a step back and you say, I'm going to use this to evaluate where that thought's coming from, why I have it, does that mean that I need to do something differently? Does that mean that in order to be more effective, I could do something differently? Maybe. And maybe that's the time for you to take a step back and actually evaluate that for yourself, reflect on yourself, and grow. right? When we care about something outside of us, it gives us cause for reflection and growth. Now, when we're driven by something outside of us, it does a complete opposite. It does not give us cause for reflection or growth. It actually makes us disappear. It makes us conform. It makes us want to be like something that somebody else thinks that we should be, or at least we think that they think we should be. Because let's face it, when we think about what other people think of us, very often we think, we project essentially our own thoughts and fears onto what other people are thinking of us. And it's really not what they're thinking of us at all. In fact, if you really want to know what somebody's thinking about you, you would be best served to ask them, to say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about what I'm doing? What's your reaction to that? Can you help me refine that? Because I want to grow individually. But it's not about operating in fear, right? When you operate in fear, you're afraid of what other people are going to think of you. So you kind of shut yourself down and you stop growing and you disappear and you get lost in a sea of conformity. Now, I think about Instagram, for example, or even Facebook. When we post things on our personal pages, on our business pages, we want feedback, right? We want some affirmation. We want something that says, I am reaching somebody, right? That something that I'm doing is having an effect. The unfortunate part, I believe, about social media is that we can let those numbers of likes and views drive us, drive our evaluation of ourselves in terms of whether or not we're effective, whether or not what we're offering has value. And that's not the case. And so I would challenge you that when you're posting things, to take that step back of self-reflection. If you're worried or wondering, why am I not getting so many likes, or why is nobody responding to me, or why is nobody commenting? The opportunity is for reflection, for you to say, okay, is there something else? Is there another message that people want to hear? Do people want to hear that differently? Do people want to see other pictures? Pets get a lot of play, by the way. Not people so much, but pets do get a lot of play. But that's the opportunity for growth, right? Especially when you're looking at it from a business model. It is healthy to look at your insights and your analytics and to say, okay, what really hit home for people and what didn't. But it's important not to let that drive you. In fact, at the recent Facebook Developer Conference, F8, I heard that they are introducing something for Instagram, which I'm totally excited about, called private likes. So now, and I'm not sure when they're launching that. I think it's very soon. I can get that date for you guys. I'll have to go back and look at the video. But they are launching something called private likes on Instagram. And so essentially, as you're scrolling through your news feed and you're seeing pictures or, comments, things that people post, the number of likes will no longer be visible there. And I think this is a hugely healthy, successful thing that the Facebook developers are doing, because it's not about the number of likes. It's about the quality of content that you believe that you are putting out there and how you are serving other people. I'm particularly, again, speaking to business, right? If you have a business page on Instagram. And in fact, the number of likes is going to be hidden from the account owner unless they ask for it. So you have to actually go and ask Instagram how many likes or how many loves, essentially, did I have on this post. And I think that's a really great tool for us to get away from this, not stopping caring about what other people think, but stopping letting what we believe other people think about us drive us and change us and make us conform and make us do what we believe that other people think we should do. The truth is that we've got to stay true to our purpose and what we have to deliver, the unique gifts that we have to deliver. And when we use what other people think to inform us and to reflect and to take a step back, that's when we grow and that's when we can refine. And that's what we're supposed to be doing as people, is refining in the process. Every single person has a need for belonging, accomplishment, and appreciation. So if you say, I don't need affirmation or I don't need other people to give me positive feedback, that's a lie. You do. You might not need everybody to give that to you, but you need some people to give that to you. And very often that's where conflict comes from, because we don't get that sense of belonging and appreciation and accomplishment by the feedback from other people. We pay attention to the negative stuff or the absence of stuff, as opposed to the presence of that appreciation, of that affirmation that we do get from the people in our lives. So what I would encourage each of you to do today is to stop trying not to care what other people think about you and just embrace it and use it to inform you, to refine you, to create a better you, and not use it to drive you. That's all I got for you guys today. I would love for you to comment below and share this video with your friends who are concerned about what other people think about them, and let them know it's okay. I'll see you next Tuesday right here, 12:30 on Off the Couch with Dr. Sherri, where I'm shifting perspectives and speaking life to you.